where we're going to end up. We're going to end up in maybe like a little bit of a pokey
nice.
meta.
The game didn't even
as well.
start
There's just
yet,
so much
chat.
options at the moment with the amount of heroes that are
it.
available, which is just going to make every single match different and exciting as well, especially with these bans making a huge difference when we lead into it. But bans are done. Now we get to see where these teams are actually going to land with their compositions here, Dog, because it's going to be very important that you start out hot here. We already know that domination can be one of those maps that if it doesn't go your way, you struggle to get back into the series. So we'll have to see who is able to get out first out of these two squads.
Yeah, absolutely. The tough part for we lost in the last, preseason. Team Liquid Citadel have been one of the best teams on Dom, right? Like when in general, the real focal point that they need to work on is those convoy and convergence maps. That was where they were sort of theoretically weaker against teams like Swamp Gaming, but definitely not domination. However, that's also we lost sort of forte as well. A lot of these top MRC teams are really good at domination maps, or will come out early for the side of we lost as they control the hype, but it's immediately matched by Counter Portal on the opposite side.
It's an immediate brawl between the two teams, as would be expected, but the opener's going to go in favor of Jitwood and Kendrick. Speedery has fallen as the Daredevil, and it should be a clean wipe from this point. So Team Liquid Citadel just could not keep up with the initial aggression.
Yeah, I started the predictions when I was in the middle of the last last game chat.
First, and they get to stand and
Dear Santi, appreciate having a new tier 1 sub. Mr.
How important getting this first point
appreciate
was, and we'll have to see whether that can benefit here. But we lost.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right.
Wait. YWL took it right off the bat. Wait a minute, chat.
Crucial. And obviously with triple strategist versus TLC's comp, they can sort of play for the damage boosts, play for those one shots. As Jitwood on the off angle tries to control it, has to deal with Pauly on the opposite side. And like you mentioned, Vest is the one starting today instead of Spark Chief, but immediately saved by these crystals, and speed goes down.
Jitwood again, he's just in the right place at the
chat.
right side.
We have never seen Team Liquid Citadel lose before. Remember, they were the preseason winners. So if they lose here against YWL, which is a team that no one wanted to scrim before, remember, that's going to be massive.
And they're going to try and force Team Liquid Citadel to go over and over again and maybe just force a full-on 6v6 here.
And this is kind of what we saw back, by the way. Okay, immediate dive, counter dive on his Atex. Nice job to actually push back with that Raging Roll.
Also, I think they messed up over here. There's no way Gambit is banned twice.
So
they kind of messed up over there.
Stage, how fast Team Liquid like to play and already take advantage. That's what happens when you have the Doctor Strange, is you can go aggressive, try to get that one shot almost. And we lost like to do that too with Kendrick. So the fact they gave him it is quite interesting, but a decent timing for Team Liquid Citadel to take control is energy. Back onto the Phoenix, one of the best hit scans in the game, and after those buffs that we've seen out of Phoenix, this character can absolutely be a menace, especially as you walk into the poke.
Also worth noting, Affecting is playing here, but we lost as well. Not seeing any mask at the moment, but we'll have to see whether the Eye of Agamotto can make the difference. But it's going to get a response, and Agamotto on the other side. Speedery and Energy, they combine to get 2. And we lost. Perhaps they're going to start to fall here as they try and retreat and see if they can at least save face a little bit. But I'm not sure you're going to get the chance to do so as TLC being aggressive.
Well, that's the tough part, is they might get staggered too, especially if Luka goes down
I forgot
late.
Team Liquid Citadel got Vest.
And get to wait the entire duration, basically, to stagger him out as long
Pauly
as
as your
possible.
tank
So
lineup, Cooper and Nero as your backline, and Speedery and Energy as your DPS. That's scary.
Team Liquid Citadel take control.
That is scary.
They also have some ult combos to go with, right? They can go in.
Pauly has the Captain America. Oh, that is very scary
as well. So they have to match with this Mantis ult or the White Fox, but you can kind of counter both with this Phoenix ult.
Excited to see what Luka can do on this squad as well. I mean, previously on Nightmare back in the Invitational of 2025, but most recently MRC Season 7 when we saw him competing in the Swamp Academy. So a nice call up. We lost. We'll have to see whether he can be the difference maker, but Speedery certainly on this Daredevil trying to be a nuisance at the moment. Ults are going to get popped though. Zatex did pop it, but then goes down to Pauly. And again, we are going to see Pauly on Captain America absolutely tearing through the opposition just as he did in preseason. Energy gets to follow up. And we lost. Just again trying to back off here as they are down on numbers.
This is what we're talking about. I mean, no KOs found, even with Straddle advantage, but they're all gone.
No, come on.
Later, and they
come on, YWL. You guys are starting off so good, man. So well.
And now Speed just gets to run rampant towards the back line, finds Xanto towards the very end, Kendrick as well. And that should be job done soon in a moment here. No portal for the side of Kendrick because he's respawning. They have to keep touching in overtime, and I don't know if they can for an incredibly long time. Luka doesn't even touch at the very last second, gets pushed off, and Team Liquid Citadel
that's
win round
true.
number 1 off of an excellent disengage.
Wasn't the Team Liquid Citadel tank player
an incredible start?
Spark Chief? They benched Spark Chief for Vest?
Hold out against Team Liquid Citadel, who just have a very deep playbook. We know they do. they're always going to be able to find some sort of angle, some sort of avenue to take you down. And I do think a lot of it comes down to Energy. Being on Phoenix is so incredible to see. We know Energy played Elsa pretty much the entirety of preseason. 5 times MVP, for example, was just such an important and integral part of this team. But Energy on Phoenix with a little bit of poke and the ability, as you mentioned, with that ultimate to just wipe out a backline if you time it correctly. It's a very terrifying player to go up against. So yeah, we lost. They're gonna have to try and get some sort of a response here going into the second round of domination.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, nice work from Team Liquid Citadel. You talked about it. You know, Energy, the young gun, absolutely just finding 2 KOs where it doesn't feel like it's incredibly likely in those fights. And then on top of that, the veteran in Nero having some excellent ultimate timings, also disengaging. I mean, they haven't found much value besides those first fights for we lost, and that's the worry, is that maybe Team Liquid Citadel are finally on top of things, as Nero's ultimate was big last time as well. Portal comes through from Kendrick. No immediate reaction from Team Liquid Citadel too, so they play it slow. They're ready to go for the counter engage. And, you know, obviously that portal can't really get much value. They have to walk now towards the point.
I think it's a typo, chat.
Against Team Liquid Citadel,
team.
maybe trying to take advantage of timings.
Gambit is so broken they have to ban it twice to make sure he's not played.
Advantage. Maybe we can go aggressive.
You guys
with
think it's a visual bug, but it's not. Trust me.
On this point, as Paulie gets countered on the off angle.
Oh, Zaytex gets taken down as well, so now they're going to be at a disadvantage. Agamotto will get popped on the other side to try and create a little bit of distance, a little bit of space with those stuns, and now the kills are going to start to come through.
Yeah, did that?
It is absolute
that doesn't make any sense because the other team has Strange banned, but Strange is still playing.
We lost, and as you said, the ultimate economy was so heavily in their favor, and they didn't even have to use much of it here, dog. That's what's crazy. They still have 4 to use going into this next fight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the tough part, is that they were patient towards spawn. Yeah, we lost. They didn't give any ult charge either to Affecting, who needed to build up towards that ult. But like we said, you have the Loki copy for the Mantis, but again, that can get countered by Energy on the backside angle too with that Phoenix ult if he really wants to.
Oh, and here they come. They are going to be able to pop one. Affecting's going to be the one who does it. And now you're going to have to see whether you can see the response on the other side. And actually, there won't be, because Kendrick is able to find 2. TLC do have ults that they can use if they want to, but they might deem this as not appropriate. Instead, you just let this one go.
Nice. I want this to be a really close game. Both of these teams were crazy last in the preseason. Different meta, but still.
Look at the chase coming through from we lost. Seeing if they can
they're playing on this patch, chat. This is Season 8
The last
patch.
remaining players will just get away. They will escape, and they get the chance to reset. And now they can reassess how they want to do this one. Polly, maybe with a freedom charge, can initiate things.
Yeah, absolutely can go in with it. And that was the tough part of the last fight, is that Nero actually used the invisible boundary. So they go aggressive again. Vest is found first pick again. So I don't think they're expecting Vest to go down this early on the side of TLC.
Oh, there you go. They fixed the banners. There you guys go.
At least 1 for 1, but everybody falls back now.
Daredevil,
they still have the damage of Energy.
Devil Dinosaur,
with
and
Paulie,
Jeff.
like you said, to create a little bit of space. Maybe for Vest to come back from Spawn to Phoenix. Maybe also onto Zaytex, and that's huge. Before he even built up with Xantho, they could stall a little bit longer. They almost expected Zaytex to go down.
Again, Energy just timing the Phoenix ult so successfully. It's so difficult as a strategist when you get focused like that. Speedery and Polly work in tandem to take down Kendrick, and now we will see, we lost again.
Chat, who do you guys take? You have to pick one flanker on your team, one DPS. Are you guys taking Jitward or are you guys taking Speedery? Both of them are playing the flankers on this game.
Of this one, because he's going to be a 6-ink dunk. But look, he is sustaining, he is waiting, he is delaying. If we can see maybe the chance for Kendrick to arrive, perhaps, we lost and stall this one a little bit.
I mean, Zaytex popped his ult, but once it's over, it should be flipped for TLC. I think a lot of that previous fight was enabled by Speedery going up to the high ground towards that Loki. These points are really dominated by Loki whenever he controls the height, so obviously for Speed to go get that timing off, also Paulie to get that nice shield throw onto Affecting towards the spawn, huge dagger pick for him, so they're doing a good job countering this Loki playstyle so far. But we lost over 50% on the board. They can maybe build up towards that another Loki copy. But TLC, they're going to go for another hard dive at a moment here with Vest. If they pick off Vest for we lost side, fight for these off angles, we might see we lost have a solid fight, but they are against the Raging Wolf flush.
Oh, and they will pop it and lock it. Ollie's going to get the opener onto Zaytex. Luca's also taking a lot of damage, and we'll have to back out into
Cooper on Gambit is very scary.
But anyone from we lost to make a difference here. They are forced all the way back to spawn, and TLC has got this one on lock. Can I just say how good it is to see Speedery on Daredevil as well? He was on Ultron like the majority of preseason, putting him back on a melee character that is absolutely dominating. TLC are looking flawless right now.
They are, and they want to go aggressive. I mean, Energy goes in with the ult. Can they find the
no,
KO?
they're
Yes.
spawn
I mean,
camping
Poli
him,
doesn't
chat.
before
They're
it even
spawn
lands.
camping
Speed
him,
through
bro.
his
They're
Apex.
spawn
Energy's like,
camping.
guys, leave some for me, because we already have 92% of the board. They have to touch. It's such a long way away from spawn. You're able to find Energy at the very least, but no portal because your Doctor Strange has to walk towards the objective, and nobody here else is going to be able to touch. So yeah, it's done. Team Liquid Citadel get it done versus we lost 2-0 on Hell's Head.
Yo, yes,
Team
sir.
Liquid
It's
Citadel
back.
continue their dominance from preseason right into stage 1 here with a 2-0 victory in match 1. It looked relatively comfortable. It was a little bit shaky at the start, but I mean, just an amazing performance from Team Liquid Citadel. Ignore the fact it says, yeah, we lost, get the victory in that one, but I mean, Dog, impressive.
Winner, yeah, we lost. Yo, come on, what?
Yeah, absolutely. I think Team Liquid Citadel, you know, they're strong. Their focal
EMEA
point
didn't have
is domination.
these problems. Come on, North America. What are we doing here? There's a lot of typos.
For the side of, we lost.
A lot of
maybe something to
mistakes
come
going
back
on
through
here,
when we go
and
to
a
combo and
production.
convergence
What's
after
going on?
this, but they still have to pick the next map. It is a first to two
Nah, bro.
series. We'll have to find out where we lost take us after the short break.
Also, I just realized I was on the wrong side this whole time. I should be on this side during the matches. Uh-oh. Whoops. Oops. Damn. What's the lineup for the day? It's great that you asked that. The lineup of the day is going to be this. Oh, let me get my... Right here. This is our first match. We have YWL against Team Liquid Citadel. The reason that Team Liquid Citadel circled, because I believe that team is going to win. I believe that team's going to win. So there, you guys cannot say, oh my god, Jay3, he jinxed my team. No. Team Liquid Citadel, going to win. Space Station Gaming against EXG. I have Space Station Gaming winning on that one. And then Sentinels, that's going to be a good game. Sentinels against Swamp Gaming. I think Swamp Gaming is going to win that. Swamp Gaming look like a really, really, really good team. And also, I hope you guys are paying attention. This is going to be on the test. Remember, J3's how to get rich. If you vote on who I'm thinking is going to win, you will become a billionaire. You heard that? Billionaire. Okay, back to our music. Did you want to watch party the games together per chance? If no worries. I would love to, but the problem I don't do watch parties with other people is because I yap a lot, and if you have two people yapping, it's a lot of noise with also the casters. That's my only problem. Wait, if you're doing a watch party, that means you're not playing? Yeah, Sentinels lost. Sorry, Kurova, love you, bro, but hey, did they not learn during the preseason? What is my Sentinels doing? What are we doing, bro? What are we doing? I'm sorry. I can't. Why? Just say you don't want to watch party with them? No, it's just too much, it's too much, I don't want to say noise pollution, but it's just too much noise. I don't know if you guys, like, because it's me talking, it's going to be the guests talking, it's going to be the casters talking, and I think it's just way too much. Yeah.
Daredevil is stepping out of the shadows with the new skin here with the
Stop
Devil's
saying
debut
I don't
event
like
inspired by his classic
Bro,
1999
if Kurova
comic
was in the
book, and
same
this
room
time
as
the
me,
event
I'd
looks
kiss
a
him.
little
It's
differently,
I
as you will
love
be popping
Kurova.
balloons.
It's
I
not.
was not
It's
on the
just. It's
lucky
too much
side.
noise,
So look,
chat.
you can throw those darts to get it early here for this awesome Daredevil look at the shadowed start. And hey, perfect timing because Daredevil was the one that really made that game different. Speedery was a big focus, Gaskin, of target bans in the preseason, trying to shut down his lines like Ultron, but they left the Daredevil able to
Jay
be
has
saved,
to yap,
and that kind
it's
of
in
gave
his
them
nature. That's
a
not
lot of their
true.
momentum. As we take a look at the map result, if you're just now coming back, we did get Team Liquid Citadel getting that first one off of we lost.
Yeah, I mean, Speedery was only able to get Daredevil, I think, 6 times last preseason, where he's on Ultron 10. So we didn't get to see him on one of his mains as much as we would have liked. I don't even think he was able to MVP throughout the entirety of preseason. And a player like Speedery, you'd expect him to be up there. But when you're competing with this much quality in Team Liquid Citadel, it doesn't really matter who's getting that MVP, as long as they're getting the win on the board, which is what they were doing all preseason long. And it's carried on into Hell's Heaven. They are 1-0 up here in this series.
Yeah, sometimes old habits are hard to kick too. Yeah, we lost. Like, loves to win that first fight, and then things don't always go their way after. I really feel like if you just look at the comp, obviously giving Gambit over to them is going to be a tough thing to fight against. And, you know, you got to pick your poisons like we've kind of highlighted here in the pick ban phase. There's so many great heroes to go for. But even as someone who plays Black Hat, like there was really no option for J3 to go in because all of them have an escape pretty easily. Daredevil's a very good challenger. As good as Black Hat is, a good challenger.
Hold on, give me a second. Emily is sick. I have to make her some medicine.
In general,
I have to do my.
Also, really going against. Yeah, we lost, Dogman.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the linchpin as well being the energy on the Phoenix,
right back,
like you guys said. I mean, like the problem was they're going Loki and they're running Mantis, and then you know you have the white voxel. Sure, you could sustain a little bit, but then the other two characters, if you go for the copy onto the Mantis, or if Mantis pops the ult, I mean, Phoenix just counters it, removes all of the overhealth from the shields with the Ensign Inferno.
To all the new viewers here who are following, and what do you call it? Yeah, I'm sorry. There's if you guys don't know this, for the past few weeks, probably past month, there's a weirdo going around hate watching a lot of the what do you call it? Marvel Rival streamers. So usually they're saying some racist, homophobic, sexist, everything that you could think of that's bad, they're saying it. So that's why you guys can't talk right now. One person's ruining the party for you guys. But you guys sub, you bypass that 1 week thing, and you can talk in chat. Okay, let me go make Emily some medicine real quick. I'll be right back.
Exactly what you want to see, that quick adjustment from your team. Vest slotting in here like he's been a part of it the entire time as well. And obviously being joined together some of his old teammates like Energy and Cooper. So cool to see this team get back together. And then, yeah, we have some new subs coming in over here, Gaskin, as you pointed out. Maybe a little bit of a team comp thing that they're going for with the triple strat. But overall, we're going to see more of this. These subs coming in and filling a specific role. All talented, but with so many heroes, maps, there's going to be strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah, I wonder if, like, Mask will come back in on certain other maps, for example, but he played a lot of Vanpool in the previous season, or in preseason, excuse me, and obviously Vanpool, not as much seen at the moment in this meta, although still viable, and maybe will creep up depending on how it develops. But there's going to be map 2 for us. Of course, we're heading to Convoy. Of course. To be Museum of Contemplation.
And what would you expect? This is always where, yeah, we lost. Love to take it every single time. Personally, my favorite map. I think this is a very fun map, both aesthetically. The music's great. I vibe out to it, but even more so, I love my Psylocke, my Black Panthers, Black Cat. Very much lends to the play style of, yeah, we lost, trying to hunt and not be hunted. Someone like Black Cat doesn't want to be like Daredevil up in the face, but more of a thief, right? Trying to be behind the scenes to get those picks. Can they do it in their hometown court? We're about to find out as these teams are getting ready for the pick and ban. And fellas, we're going to have to see them really find out a different remedy, if you will, to success. And, you know, how do they change that, Dog? And what do you think they try to swap up in that pick ban?
I mean, like, I think maybe we go towards, you know, maybe removing the Gambit. I think that could be a priority. But then we go to over to these maps where, you know, Devil Dino's always going to be a menace. So that is a character I'm going to worry about. But I still really rate the Gambit. I mean, every single fight on Domination, at least on Hell's Heaven, that was just a fight win, right? Like, Cooper would popple and they would just get the W. So that's a bit of an issue. Also, maybe dealing with Poly on Cap could be something that we sort of shift onto. The difference is, you know, now we're going to Museum of Contemplation, like you said, Cozy. This is their map type of choice because this was the only map they're able to win in the preseason versus Team Liquid Citadel. So we'll have to see, you know, is this finally the point with adding Invest that they've sort of patched up their holes on Convoy and Convergence potentially? You know, that could be a big difference maker moving forward, especially if they win this series 2-0. I think we'd learn a lot about the new version of Team Liquid Citadel.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, best of 3. It makes it tough quickly to get back on your feet and see if you can make this thing tied up. Take it away, Gaskin, Dogman, as we look at the pick ban.
Cheers, Cozy. Always providing extra insight. I love that we get Cozy back in after every single time. Already you can see the lock again onto Doctor Strange here, Dogman. So they clearly want to keep the Strange on the side of Kendrick, but they are going to get rid of Devil Dinosaur. Sadly, it does mean that they are going to allow the Gambit to get through yet again, which does have me a little bit worried. So I'm a little bit concerned for him because I think Cozy's completely right. If we see Liquid Citadel win this one comfortably, then they have like kind of fixed any small errors that they had found in the previous preseason.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is kind of their bread and butter for the side of, yeah, we lost. And if you were to lose this, that's brutal, because now we can go to the same ban phase, right? They go for that, Doctor Strange Protect, like we talked about before. It's the same ban phase so far for the side of, yeah, we lost, and Team Liquid Citadel. But, there was interviews, I believe, with even the coach of the side of Team Liquid Citadel, where like, yeah, Kendrick is that guy on Doctor Strange. And once we ban that out, we know they're going to be in a worse spot. But, not even focusing towards Mantis like we saw in the past, just prioritizing keeping their back line on this White Fox and the Gambit has been huge, right? So it's going to be tough. And we only saw like 1 KO onto the opposite side for Cooper and this backline, whereas there was 6, 8 even for Zatex. So I think it's always going to be tough, right? Especially with the prioritization of the backline of Team Liquid Citadel. And we're going to see actually the Luna Snow ban to come through to maybe counter the team up with the White Fox. That's an interesting last ban to come through for the side of, yeah, we lost.
Yeah, and we did see a lot of Luna Snow on the side of Team Liquid Citadel previously. I mean, as expected, she is an incredible hero and can do a lot of work with the right player, but we'll have to see whether the switchover is going to affect the likes of, like, Nero is going to have White Fox, so that's going to be fantastic for Nero. I think having that lockdown is going to be so important. And then Cooper can kind of play anything anyway, even though he played a lot of Luna previously. Happy to move over to Invisible Woman, happy to play on the Gambit, happy to be on the Loki or the Jeff. Doesn't really matter where you put Cooper. He is still going to be a huge threat on the map. But there's the locking bans for you. Fairly similar, a few changes like here or there. The Devil Dinosaur does not get through on either side, so still a very scary Vanguard to have to go up against it. Everyone is in agreement right now.
Yeah, absolutely. In a map like this, where you can maybe get some more space too on the Luna, and with the changes that she got, with the 2 damage and healing buff that she got. So that character is just a disgusting hero right now. And, a lot of the strategists in general are quite good. But we'll see if Yeah We Lost can bounce back. This was their map pick. It is this best out of 3 series. So, in these group stages in the round robin that we have going on, we have every team playing against each other at least or once. And then, obviously we'll see those teams qualify for the playoffs. And then we have the new relegation system, where if you're not in the top 50% at the end of the playoffs, you have to go through that mid-season qualifiers if you're not one of our partnered teams. So for Yeah We Lost versus Team Liquid Citadel, we'll see if Yeah We Lost can finally come back and if that ban phase was enough to put them over the top of Team Liquid.
It's an interesting position for fans of Americas here in Marvel Rivals Ignite as well, because you want to see a good game, you want to see a neutral game between these two, and Yeah We Lost to get back into it, but you also kind of want to see Team Liquid Citadel dominate so that there's a chance of a championship at the end of this entire thing when they have to go up against the other regions. And of course, we've seen how powerful Amir can be in previous years, but here we go. We're into it then, and TLC against Yeah We Lost on their favorite map. Investment's already taken a lot of damage. Energy has gone down as well, so Jitwood gets that opener just as he did in the previous, and now they're looking to try and take advantage of this one with that extra player on the map.
Yeah, it is really fun, too. It's the fact that, we get Jitward on the dual pool. So you're playing that alongside the Luna Snow. You can just keep walking forward at them. You get a ton of backline damage. Team Liquid Citadel rolled out with that Phoenix, too, to maybe think they were going to go on the Mantis. So far, so good, considering the fact that we just get to keep putting pressure on them. And Paulie, now onto the Venom, is going down again. So one after another with Luca back over to the Venom and off the whole.
Wait, that's actually very interesting. They're running 3 EPS, 2 supports, and 1 tank.
They keep it up.
I like this YWL team.
Going onto the back line, diving
they're very unorthodox, which I like.
And they have to change something up too. Portal comes out of energy and a spawn. Best gets stagger 2 though, so it's just 1 by 1. Team Liquid Citadel have been falling.
He won't even have time to snap a little cheeky pick as well. We saw him on the struck pool previously, the dual pool, previously last season. So we'll have to see whether he can still be a huge threat, but you're not going to want to go up against a Gambit like that. As Cooper is able to find one, Luca will get a response, and you can see a couple of changes coming through on those compositions. You mentioned it. Cap's going to be there. Polly, we already seen the damage that Polly can do in preseason on Cap as well. As we're going to see Speedery ripped off of the map by Jitwood, and now there's going to be 3 ults available for Yeah We Lost as they continue to push.
Yeah, that almost was a good fight for Team Liquid Citadel, but
I really like this, bro. Like I said, chat, it's very unorthodox. I love it.
A lot of switch ups, right? Obviously, when you have no more Mantis and
also,
stuff.
Also, YWL was always great on this map. So
you get off that Phoenix, you get off the hero that can maybe counter the overhealth provided. Go over to the Star-Lord, who got also buffed. 10 ammo buff into that regular form. But Paulie back onto his Captain America as well. Just going to stall out that cart, try to push it back towards the backside, and they're already diving onto Affecting, who is still alive and peels off Paulie somehow while on the other side of the map. Kendrick and crew have been a wrecking ball. 4 down on the side of Team Liquid Citadel. Paulie's dealt with towards the cart.
I think this is YWL's meta.
And the rest of the
I feel like it is. They have a lot of good dive players.
I was talking about earlier about the rock, paper,
Yo,
scissors, and brawl, the
levitated.
versus
Pre-match
dive,
prime
and people try to find an in-between of everything, and you have to be prepared to switch if things are not going well for you. Try and find that counter, but there's that Phoenix ult that comes through from Zaytex, who is now playing Phoenix rather than Mantis, but of course still can hit those headshots and be very deadly as well, and has the ability to evade if you do get jumped on. But now we will see Starlord start to get into effect here. Energy does pop it, but now the counter ults will come through. Affecting says, let's get the dance floor ready and keep you all alive.
Yeah, I've loved affecting so far onto this Luna. I mean, he's been great. Zaytex, by the way, on the right side angle. Doesn't actually have to do much besides find poke on the back line as Jitward finds speed. So that was a huge point of this fight is, can let the devil out in the upcoming fight. No, Xantho does go down. At least one of the back line removed. Same thing with affecting. So you get rid of their healing. And it was this sort of, pull and push back towards the car.
Defense so far from Team Liquid Citadel.
Now Team Liquid Citadel as they got pushed all the way to spawn.
At least,
finally,
I mean, not huge defense. At least they stopped the point.
Liquid Citadel
The
definitely one of those
YWL
teams
still has
who
3
learn and
minutes.
adapt very quickly as well to their opposition. So if they are getting a little bit wrecked or if they lose that first fight, they will make changes quickly, just as they did in the previous when we saw the switch over to Phoenix, for example, from that Starlord. So TLC finally are able to stop the push from We Lost. But We Lost still with 2 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock here to try and just get over the line of point 2. As Speedery now looking to try and get into the face of his enemies, and boy is he! Polly and Speedery, they work together in tandem, and that is a deadly combo. Cap plus Daredevil, so difficult to play against.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that combo, those two flying in with energy, this is maybe the mix they needed, the change of heroes that enables this crew as, another minute is off the clock and Speed sets up on these flank angles. He's changing them up every time, so they're unaware of where he's coming from. Upcoming fight, too. Paulie has ult to maybe stall out the fight for energy. But We Lost. They need to build up towards Xantho. Maybe he's Luca as well. He needs to go aggressive towards the back line, but they haven't been able to set up any of these dives whatsoever as, again, Speed's on the flank with the wall hacks.
As the Vision has everything he could possibly want as well, but you are just going to see an absolute brawl happening. Energy gets the opener onto Kendrick, and with
Spark
Kendrick
Chief
falling, that does leave him a
is
little
still
bit
on the
vulnerable,
team
but
chat, but I'm
Xantho
pretty
does
sure
get
he's
the
benched
response on
because they
Speedery.
picked up
Which
Vess,
boy
and
did they
Vess
need.
is
There's Xantho again onto
Vess is a
Polly.
really good
So
tank
We Lost
player
might
as
have
well.
just turned this one around
I'm
in
pretty
their
sure
favor.
they're going to
Jitward gets
switch
one on
in and
Cooper
out.
as well. And now
It just
We
probably
Lost
depends
should
on
be
what
able to
map
push
or
this
what
one
they
over
want to
unless
run.
we see anything crazy.
Because, I mean, Spark Chief is still a
Not
really
gonna
good
happen
tank.
Just quite.
I mean, still insane tracking from energy to find one on the stagger. I mean, that could really screw them over long term. Kendrick, though, with the ult available on the backside, trying to go for the resets, doesn't able to get it, so it gets fully removed. Paulie finding Jitward as well because they removed that Luna Snow earlier. So that pick off by energy in the stagger really stopped We Lost from really doing anything. So Team Liquid finally got those fight wins. I thought it was good because of, like you mentioned, with Xantho, zoning off the backline with the portal and the shields in between, also taking a lot of that damage. But it was energy stagger pick that really set up this fight. And now in the upcoming one, they have the Raging Roll Flush alongside Starlord's ult with nothing to counter it except the bubble from Holt.
We were able to see energy a few times in preseason on Starlord, and he was absolutely disgusting when he was given that opportunity.
I will
to do
say
so.
this is
And
an
again, we get to
insane
see
hold
that
from Team
tracking
Liquid Citadel,
once
though.
more.
I
Now
thought they
has
were going to
ultimate
get
available,
rolled
as does
the way that
Cooper,
first point went.
and they have the advantage in this next engagement to TLC. We Lost with only 50 seconds left. They need to think about how they want to approach this one. You hear the screams
Oh
of
my
Legendary ring
God.
around
Oh
the area.
my.
It's going to mean it's going to be a full-on wipe for TLC, because if you combine Cooper plus Energy's ults, it's just so difficult to do anything. And now they can stagger a little bit as well with Luca, the last remaining player, as Bruce Banner. They wait patiently, and TLC only have to hold out for another 30 seconds.
And that's going to be hard to do so for We Lost have to come back. And they're switching to comps that are full, play together as a unit. We don't have ults either. Affecting maybe can stall it with this Luna Snow ult, but he needs to maybe time it for speed. As TLC, I mean, they're going to be tough to deal with as well. Paulie coming in could force
I think
out
they tried to
that
get the support.
Luca switches over to Thing as well, wanting to get down and dirty, get in the face of TLC at the moment, and Speedery will let the devil out though, so that's going to be very difficult for We Lost to try and deal with, but you can see they are trying to stick as a pack, and they are getting up in the face, and they are brawling together, but they need that pick. Affecting did pop the ult though, so We Lost will have the ability to hold on to it, but with Energy and Polly working together, they shut down two. Zaytex does find one, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough, unless you can push back and force back, which actually it's worked out on that side, but Vessel gets two of his own. And just like that, TLC are absolutely slapping We Lost around. And overtime takes
I actually
by,
cannot believe he didn't
and
get that kill.
TLC
That,
will
as a
hold.
Bucky player, that hurt a part of my heart, man.
Citadel. Much
That's
improved
not a
as well from the
J3
last
ult.
stage
Stop.
where they gave
Stop.
up 3.
That's not a J3 ult. Stop trying to
only
be
getting
funny.
held in the second phase, or rather
Stop trying to
getting
be funny.
pushed through the first phase incredibly fast, but they stabilized because I mean, look
That
how
was
many
a
off angles
5-minute
they had,
hold.
dude.
That's
like,
insane.
As you saw,
5 minutes.
Like, they had Cooper on the back left flank. They had Energy back in the main. You know, if you're unfamiliar with Rivals Esports, you're like, these guys look like they're playing in a ranked lobby with how many different positions they're in. But all of these off angles have a purpose, and every character they're on are incredibly mobile, so they can always run away if they get forced off. But the setups are too easy, and you can't really just fight for these off angles when you switch to more counter dive comps. You know, you have Luca switching over to that Hulk. They couldn't set up the dives because of their backline getting dove upon so early. But, you know, there were so many freaking off angles to have to control against Team Liquid Citadel that it felt almost impossible. So excellent work from Team Liquid Citadel to mix it up. It was
Jay said this was a good push, and they got held for 5 minutes.
From Energy,
curse. I am not cursing
that enabled them. And then Cooper and Nero just never go down. You could see whenever they would finally, you know,
I do like
dive towards Cooper or Nero,
now they're running triple support. They were running triple
sure
DPS. Now they're running triple support
to dive onto them, and it was never going to result in KO. So excellent work disengaging from Team Liquid Citadel.
Just goes back to my previous point again, though, of TLC adapt so quickly. It took a little bit longer, I guess.
What does stage 1 mean? Stage 1 is basically there's different stages of the Marvel Rivals Ignite tournament. There's the preseason, and there's stage 1. Stage 1 leads into a mid-season finals, and then after the mid-season finals, there's a stage 2, and then the stage 2 leads into the grand finals. And the mid-season finals and the grand finals are going to be LAN events, international LAN events. We don't know where it is, but I hope I could go to them.
A bit of a meme, maybe talking point is giving Speed and giving Pauly their two mains, right? Like, you talked about it. I mean, we had him Ultron last stage.
Chat, you guys should definitely be able to. If you guys could go, you guys should go to that LAN event, bro. It's so fun.
Pauly. It's going to be hard, man. Like, you can't get away with that, surely.
And then Veswa has been a fantastic addition as well on the Van Pool, excuse me, here in this game. Has just been able to add so much pressure and so much damage. You could see on the stats the amount of KOs that are coming Veswa's way as well has been fantastic for him. Happy to get in the face of his enemy. And again, off the spawn, yeah, we lost a right down and dirty to try and get in the faces of TLC, but that might not bode well because the brawling ability of TLC right now is incredible. Banhammer will come out as well, just onto Zatex, I think it was.
Damn,
just to try and take
nice
out
healing, nice peeling for their guy that got hit.
TLC have lost 2 here, and yeah, we lost might have just been able to find the break they needed.
Yeah, this is what I'd like to see on the last round. You know,
how does the ban system work in tournaments? You ban for the other team and you save for your team.
Loki. I mean, 2 minutes
so let's just say, for an example, you see duplicate bans here. That's because when you ban, let's say it's you versus me. If I ban Black Cat, that means you can't play Black Cat. I can still play Black Cat unless you ban it. And you can also, you have 2 saves. If I save Black Cat before you ban it, that means you cannot ban Black Cat. That's how it basically goes. Yes, Chris Man's a new tier 1 sub.
Raging Royal Flush is going to pop though, and we know what usually follows afterwards. Just a death for everyone on the other side. Cooper's going to be able to finish off
save
Titwood,
what's already banned though.
Down to just Luca again, who will be staggered just that little bit as Bruce Banner and TLC can continue to push. We'll say though, yeah, we lost
I wish our ranked experience was like this. Well, it could be if you guys communicate, but usually in ranked games, people only want to communicate and use their mics at the end of the game to start flaming everyone.
Absolutely, you're right.
Also, these guys are trying to play to win. These guys, if they lose a team fight, they don't go, oh, let's forfeit. I'm going to go Black Widow now.
Forcing out Nero.
Play for the vibes. No, they don't do that.
Because the damage moves from Kendrick onto the Doctor Strange, able to remove the Invisible Woman, who's been a menace so far. And another fight lost for Team Liquid Citadel, actually, as, yeah, we lost kick control at this point, using both the White Fox and that Black Cat. But again, in Team Liquid Citadel, I just love if they went back over to the Phoenix now. They hovered it for a second. You do have the combo speed and energy at the very least, but you don't have the Raging Royal Flush to combo. And that's the worry now. We don't have anything to counter the Manta Assault on the opposite side for Zatex. Unless, yeah, we lost really screwed this
I used my mic and I was able to convince a Spider-Man player to swap. That's not true. I don't believe that at all. Spider-Man players will go 3 and 12 in your game and refuse to swap and blame everyone else. Not true.
We lost to still finding KOs right now, so TLC are being staggered, and they kind of need to regroup a little bit because time is slowly ticking against them here. Yeah, we lost looking fantastic on the defensive side.
I mean, Energy, he was in spawn too, like meleeing. It looked like he wanted to swap speeds over the Black Cat now, but they go aggressive again in the moment from, yeah, we lost.
If Team Liquid Citadel loses
this is like basically
that's going to be insane. Oh, nice
Can they
portal.
do
I
it?
like that.
Can they break through the defensive Yeah We Lost right now, or will we see Yeah We Lost win out on one of their favorite maps and modes that we saw from the preseason? It's all going to go down right here, right now, as Kendrick's going to be the first point of contact. He's able to break a little bit of damage on his side. Aya Magamoto now comes out. Where's the follow-up? Is it there? But Spidery will get Galactic Legend to at least find two
Oh
of his
my
own. It's gonna be a
god,
4
bro.
versus 4. Yeah We
Luca
Lost,
with
they
the
turn it
hit
into
in the
their
air on
favor.
energy
They slap
ulting.
out Vesper
God
to get rid of him.
damn.
And Yeah We Lost look to be holding strong here, and TLC are throwing everything. I'm not sure it's going to be enough. As Yeah We Lost just seem to have the answer over and over and over again as we tick into overtime. But Spidery,
Wait, wait, Speedery is still going though.
What the
There's
hell?
no way.
Okay. Speed making this a fight? Oh my goodness.
Wait,
Last
how did
second comes
Speedery
through, finds
just
three, like you
carry
said,
this?
That is an unbelievable turnaround for Team Liquid Citadel.
Maybe they can just march this one across. Yeah, we lost. Can they actually get anyone to the point, or are they going to be forced back? Yes, okay, Hulk will get on. Luca's going to try and defend as best as he can.
Yeah, I've seen enough. Can we get a nerf on can we get a nerf on Spider-Man?
Again, laying in wait to do the damage to the team as they try and push through this choke point. Raging Royal Flush will get popped by Cooper, and now TLC can take full advantage of that as well. But Affecting has just popped an ult on the other side. So
oh my god,
Lost
Cooper's
have done
movement is
so
insane.
well to
His
sustain
survivability.
it, and it
Damn.
is a battle of sustaining, dog.
It is absolutely, but, you know, eventually they get whittled down due to speed. I mean, this man so far has just been not only an MVP of this match, but is looking to be one of the best players in the entire world off of that last two fights. I mean, it just felt like it was over basically until that happened. However, Speed did use the
I
ult
thought
at the
this
very
was going to
least.
be a
That's
full
going to go
hold by
away. 2 minutes and
YWL,
13
which I
seconds
was
left.
kind of
It's not
excited
as
about
big
because I
a
want to see
time
a map
bank as YWL
3.
Lost did have in the second phase. But if this keeps happening, if Speed is able to get as much value as he is, I would be worried. However, ult charge available, still for YWL Lost. They can stabilize with this strat ult here.
I have Agamotto available for Vesper as well, but never count out Team Liquid Citadel. That's what we learned. Denied. Holly manages to find one though.
That looks like a J3 eye of Agamotto. Yo, Vest, what are we doing, bro? You got picked up because you're the best player. What was that, Vest?
Brawling against Yeah We Lost in the moment, but Jitwood is coming in at the black, and you are going to see Jitwood again just getting aggressive. Unbelievable from Jitwood right now. It is just Black Cat versus Black Cat action that we're seeing on our screen.
You know what that reminds me of? That looked like a Doctor Strange that would be on my team in ranked, and then he ulted, and then he died, he blames the supports and goes Scarlet Witch. Nah. GG's chat.
He's kind of been the reason that Team Liquid Citadel are in these fights. Luca with the ult's a little bit too late now, but Cooper, even if he goes down, no, he still doesn't go down. Like, I feel like this man's not been able to get KO'd by Jitward at all. Like, the amount of evasion from Cooper has been crazy. A minute left to go, and yeah, we lost. They should have had a big advantage in that fight, but like you mentioned, Pauly's ult sustained a little bit further. Speed has an ult with energy now, and yeah, we lost. They can get countered because energy swapped over to the Phoenix. This is going to be a really hard fight for yeah, we lost unless they can live through energy's immense damage that is upcoming.
As the end song of Inferno available to him. Really be the difference makers. They get the flank, they get behind two alongside Speedery. Yeah, we lost.
There's no way.
There's
no
way.
Response
from Jitwood, but I'm not sure it's going to be enough to
wow.
stop this now. As two more.
Oh my god.
Last ditch attempt to try and do something. Zatex and Luke are the last two remaining, and they continue to push. And now you're just going to need to hope there's some sort of portal here if you can get there. But you have to push in, you have to rush. Otherwise, TLC are going to cruise through to a 2-0. It looked like they were going to be done and dusted, but Team Liquid Citadel again surprised us right at that very last moment. But here comes the last push now from yeah, we lost.
The ults are too much an advantage for Team Liquid Citadel. Now we have nothing.
They have to get on it. They have to get it. They can't. It's just CG's chat. It's CG's. Wow.
Falls or
wow.
Vice versa, but it doesn't matter.
Wow, bro. First of all, that was a really great first hold by YWL, but Speedery, I don't know what he did, but I'm pretty sure that guy's on like 9,000 milligrams of Adderall or some shit. I don't know. Crack cocaine. I don't know how he pulled that off on first point, but that was insane. Oh my god.
Think them out. They find a way through, and that's exactly what happened. It was Speedery
Jesus.
who made the difference in those final moments when yeah.